y'all from in the chat. Let me know where y'all at in the chat, man, because it's definitely hot out here, bro. It's definitely hot. Let's tap in. What they talking about?
YouTube. Chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, Chicks.
Salute to Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Oh, man, we are finally here, you guys. The day has arrived.
Uh-oh.
Now, today was day one for the hearing about UMG's request for dismissal in Drake versus UMG's case. Now, you guys all know...
Okay, so they're in court to talk about UMG's request to dismiss. Okay, so this isn't the other way around. This is UMG's request to dismiss. Okay.
Is UMG's case. Now, you guys all know this is for the defamation case after Drake was called a certified pedophile by Kendrick. The lawyers from both sides were in court today to present their arguments about their certified PDF line. Now, if you guys want daily updates, please make sure you guys go follow Inner City Press.
Inner City Press is who we need to follow? Okay. Judge Vargas. Okay, so this is the judge to the UMG lawyer. Judge Vargas, you seem to say a diss track could never be defamatory, but New York law says the form is not dispositive. UMG lawyer, look at the shock jock cases. Judge, not the same thing. Perhaps the court needs more info and cannot dismiss. What? Okay, UMG's lawyer. Drake opened the door and in the third person SI. What is that? Third person SI. That when Kendrick Lamar says, heard you like him young. Oh, they're shortening this up. Heard you like him young. There is no surprise. Vargas. Mr. Lamar suggests there are other secrets he has yet to reveal. It's ambiguous. UMG's lawyer. There are questions of law the court can dismiss. Judge, he asked them what are certified PDFs? UMG's lawyer, it's a play on certified lover boy. What is going on here? So it sounds like they taking Drake's side in this.
Make sure you guys go follow Inner City Press. He's actually in the courtroom and he's actually tweeting live. The judge's name is Judge Vargas. She told UMG's lawyer, you seem to say a diss track could never be defamatory, but New York law says the form is not dispositive. UMG lawyer responded saying, look at the shock jock case. Judge Vargas responds back saying, that's not the same thing. Perhaps the court needs more information and cannot dismiss. Then Judge Vargas goes on to ask UMG's lawyer, what are certified pedophile? They responded saying it's a play on certified lover boy. Judge Vargas responds back saying, but what?
But with the ordinary listener know the same of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. So if we are to believe, where are my lawyers at? Where my lawyers at? If we're to believe that I understand what a certified PDF is in this day and age, if we're to believe that I understand that, is it too far out of the norm to believe that I know what certified lover boy is, especially if I'm following the beef? I don't think that's too far-fetched. I mean, if you're thinking about I hate to say this because I don't mean to discriminate against generation. Okay, so we're not doing no ageism or generation discrimination here. But in this current time, I think more people probably understand what certified lover boy is versus what a PDF is. They might actually have to Google PDF to figure out what is a PDF. What is that? What is that? What is a PDF? Versus, oh, I know certified lover boy. That's a Drake. That's a Drake album. Right? So if I'm to deduce that I understand, if I'm smart enough to understand what a PDF is, how would I not understand what certified lover boy is? Okay. But would the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? Yeah, the ordinary listener would definitely know that, especially in this case. Especially in this case. The context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. UMG's lawyer. UMG lawyer. We seek dismissal. UMG lawyer. Okay. We seek dismissal for Drake having used the information and belief form of pleading. What? Judge, Mr. Gottlieb, for Drake? Gottlieb, on a 12 motion, the question is whether a listener could have thought facts were being conveyed. So is Gottlieb is the lawyer for, is Drake's lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Drake's lawyer, Gottlieb. Okay, that's what it is. Drake's lawyer, Gottlieb. They want your honor to weigh 17 articles, but the time to weigh evidence is not at this stage. So they're saying, we want you to consider all of these different articles, but this ain't the time to do it. Judge, I can take judicial notice. The lyrics are what they are. Okay.
Would the ordinary listener know?
So basically they're trying to continue this past this stage. They don't want the judge to dismiss it right now. They're saying the other side wants you to, or Kendrick's side wants you to take all of this evidence, these other 17 articles into consideration, but this ain't the time to do it. So they want to continue it. Hey, yo, what up, Angelique? What up? You think, but many, even that term, right? You shorten it up. Maybe they understand that. Maybe they don't understand the whole thing. I don't know. But I'm not highly confident in people understanding the English language and vocabulary. I'm not confident in people's vocabulary. So if you went to let me say, I don't care. You went to either concert. You went to a Drake or Kendrick concert and you asked them, do you know what Certified Lover Boy is? They would probably know what Certified Lover Boy is. That's the crowd of people we have to think about. The people that would attend a Kendrick or a Drake concert would know what Certified Lover Boy is. Now, if you did the same thing and asked them, hey, do you know what this word means? The PDF word? I'm saying I don't have faith in the English and people understanding what that word is. I don't have faith in people's vocabulary in 2025. I just don't. Now, I'm not saying it ain't some smart people out there, or not even smart, but people who just understand and know what that is based on context or what they've heard. I'm not saying that's not true, that people won't understand it, but I'm just saying I think people would probably understand both. My opinion, of course. Nothing is facts, right? Nothing is facts here.
Judge Vargas responds back saying, but would the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? UMG lawyer says the context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. Now, Lawyers for Workers was also in court as well today, and here's his take on how things went today in court.
Drake versus Universal Music Group.
Wait. And here's his take on how else. Now, Lawyers for Workers, would the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? UMG lawyer says the context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. Now, Lawyers for Workers was also in court as well today, and here's his take on how things went today in court.
Drake versus Universal Music Group. Judge Vargas just completed her hearing on the motion to dismiss. Let me tell you what I think she's going to do with this case. As you know, Drake sued Universal Music claiming...
Oh, God. Don't he look like a lawyer, though? Like, I can't see him doing nothing else but studying law. Bro, I want to call this dude when I have a problem. For a fact, he going to get you out of the jam. Guaranteed this is gonna get you out of the jam. 1,000%. You got nothing to worry about if Lawyers for Workers is on the case.
Versus Universal Music Group. Judge Vargas just completed her hearing on the motion to dismiss. Let me tell you what I think she's going to do with this case. As you know, Drake sued Universal Music claiming defamation in the publication of the song Not Like Us, making him and calling him a pedophile when in fact he never was. Universal Music Group moved to dismiss those claims. They say, Judge, you can't actually bring a lawsuit like this. Why? Because the statement, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, first off, how do you certify a lover boy in the same way you certify a pedophile? Hyperbole, trash talk, just nonsense being said in rap songs. That's not something you can sue for. You have to dismiss this case. What do I think the judge is going to do? Universal's big argument is that look at the context of what happened here. In the tailor-made freestyle, Drake was out there saying, yeah, go ahead, talk about how I like young girls. That's going to be a win for me. That's an
Exactly, bro. You brought that on yourself. Oh. Wait, why did it make that sound different? Hold up.
Drake was out there saying, yeah, go ahead, talk about how I like young girls. That's going to be a win for me. That's an actual quote from the TaylorMade freestyle. And now
that sounds like a threat. Now that kind of sounds like a threat. When he's rapping the lyrics, initially, the way I took it was, yeah, talk about me liking young girls. That'll be a win for me. Like, I'm thinking, Cheddar Bob, let me get out in front of it. Let me try to give you all of the ammo ahead of time. But now, was he planning this?
Like young girls, that's going to be a win for me. That's an actual quote from the TaylorMade freestyle. And now Kendrick comes back. He accepts his invitation to talk about the young girls.
Exactly.
So what's the problem? This is the trash talk back and forth that we all expected to happen.
Yo, no. Why is that clicking different? It sound like a bait and switch. It sound like it was a double. It sounds like it was a double. It sounded like it was a double entendre in the sense of, yeah, talk about me liking young girls. That'd be a win for me. In a sense where I'm giving you the ammo that I know you're going to use. And then two, it's a win for me because I'm going to use it later. Come on, bro.
Young girls. So what's the problem? This is the trash talk back and forth that we all expected to happen in this rap battle. Drake's lawyers made a great argument, which is, wait a second. Not Like Us was not part of the rap battle. Yeah, it was a song in the rap battle, but it eclipsed the rap battle and became its own thing, a cultural phenomenon. A song like no other song in the history of music, quite frankly. It got to 300 million streams in 35 days. Nothing else has ever done that. Today, it sits at 9 billion streams. The way Universal took this song and pushed it out, never done that. Today, it sits at 9 billion streams.
Not Like Us is at 9 billion streams. Oh, that's why he really mad, bro.
No other song.
That's why he really mad. Then Drake's admitting he knew everybody would believe it. Right. So if he's saying, go ahead and use that, it's going to be a win for me. He could be admitting that if you say that, people are going to believe that, and then I'm going to then turn and use it against you later. Ooh, that's nasty. That's nasty. I've never thought about it that way until he said it. I never thought about it that way.
A cultural phenomenon, a song like no other song in the history of music, quite frankly. It got to 300 million streams in 35 days. Nothing else has ever done that. Today, it sits at 9 billion streams. The way Universal took this song and pushed it out, they made it into something else. The judge's decision is basically, what would a reasonable listener listening to this song decide? Arguably, the judge could find that a reasonable listener, I don't know who the reasonable listener is. It's too early in the case. I need more evidence.
Wait.
I don't know who the reasonable side. Arguably, the judge could find that a reasonable listener, I don't know who the reasonable listener is. It's too...
My bad,
basically,
gang.
what would a reasonable listener listening to this song decide? Arguably,
what would a reasonable listener listening to this song decide? And the judge is saying, I don't know what a reasonable listener who a reasonable listener would be. So basically, they're saying we can't dismiss it this early because I need to have more evidence and understand what how a reasonable listener would take this. But how do you do that? How do you actually do that? You'd have to do like I know this is completely outside of the norm or outside of the realm of what's possible in court. I'm not a lawyer. But where are my lawyers at that could tell me, how do you figure out what you know how vastly different the listeners are? And just if you think about the different categories and sections of rap, hip hop as a whole, it's different, bro. Like the listeners are just different. You got dudes who really just enjoy drill rap and murder, whatever. You got that. You got Christian rap. You got that super commercial poppy style Drake dude, and you got real hip hop. Listeners are just different across the board. So how can you really figure out what one listener can and can't understand? I don't know, bro.
What would a reasonable listener listening to this song decide?
Bro, you would have to go out and ask people, do you know what this means? You would have to literally like have focus groups and be like, yo, do you know what this means? Do you know what that means? Okay, done. Next. Do you know what this means? Do you know what that means? Okay, next. You have to poll about 20,000 people and get that.
The judge could find that a reasonable listener, I don't know who the reasonable listener is. It's too early in the case. I need more evidence. I need more discovery. I need to...
Bro, they need to argue. There's no way to tell. There's no way for you to figure out who the reasonable listener is. They need to just argue that. Because he says, I don't know who. They need to just argue that point.
Reasonable listener is. It's too
There's no
early
way to
in the
know
case.
that.
I need more evidence. I need more discovery. I need to actually see what people have been saying about this song, what people can testify about how they heard it, so on and so forth. Long story short, I think what's going to happen in this case, the motion to dismiss will get denied. It's way too early to try to dismiss this case. Either way, this case will get appealed to the Second Circuit. And so you're going to have this case going on for quite a long time. I think this case needs to settle because the way these lawyers, and the lawyers were both phenomenal on both sides, the way these lawyers were going, all the issues that the judge brings up, this looks like a case that could last with appeals for years and years and years, going all the way to the Supreme Court. Drake could get
years and years and years, bro. Y'all are upset now that we still talking about it. We wouldn't be talking about it if bro wasn't still going on with it. He said, bro, they could tie this up in court for years. And he's saying, so it doesn't get to that point, we should settle, which means that Drake would win? Oh my God. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
Judge brings up, this looks like a case that could last with appeals for years and years and years, going all the way to the Supreme Court. Drake could get a huge bag.
What?
Universal could win, which would be terrible because the conversation around this lawsuit will continue on and on.
Wait.
Seems would be terrible because Drake could get a huge bag. Universal could win, which would be terrible because the conversation around this lawsuit will continue on and on, making Drake seem like a crybaby. Settle this case.
Once again.
Wait, so he said Universal could win, which would be terrible. Terrible for who? Because they can make the case go terrible for who?
Universal could win, which would be terrible because the conversation around this lawsuit will continue on and on, making Drake seem like a crybaby.
The conversation will continue on and on, making Drake seem like a crybaby. Is that who it would be terrible for? I mean, that's the only person I could see it could be terrible for if UMG won. But I could only imagine the level of, bro, do y'all know what the ego and braggadocious nature is going to look like if Drake wins this case and gets a settlement from UMG, bro? Can y'all imagine what that album is going to be like? He going to get all his mojo back from that. If he wins, it's going to be like, yo, I beat UMG. I don't even know if I want to see that. We've already established he's a crybaby. I don't think I want to see that. I don't know if I want to see that. Drake winning a case against UMG? That would be wild.
Conversation around this lawsuit will continue on and on, making Drake seem like a crybaby.
Bro.
Settle this case.
Once again, that's his opinion. Please do not take it as a fact. We all know what happens every single time we rush to a conclusion. Now, there's also this very interesting exchange between Drake's lawyer and the judge. Drake's lawyer,
Gottlieb, which is Drake's lawyer, UMG made this song more culturally ubiquitous than any other. 9 billion streams, played at a bar mitzvah. Judge Vargas. an interesting bar mitzvah that would play this song. Judge, then there's a use of the AI voice of Tupac. Drake's lawyer Gottlieb, I'm not convinced of the relevance. Judge, shouldn't I view the entire rap battle? Gottlieb, this was unique. So then he goes back and he's kind of challenging his lawyer, Drake's lawyer. He's challenging his lawyer and saying, wait. But what about the AI voice of Pac? Wait, shouldn't I view everything? You want me to only pay attention to this part and not the other part? Now, I mean, as a good lawyer, clearly we want you to pay attention to what's going to benefit us. We don't want you to pay attention to things that we did in this case that could go against us. Honestly, man, I'd like it dismissed because I want it to be over, right? I'd like it to be dismissed because I just want it to be over and I'm done with. But I would like to see the arguments down the line and how that maybe lays the foundation for what to expect. I don't think we're gonna get a lot of beefs because of this. People gonna be scared to say something, bro. People gonna be scared. Like, what, you gonna sue me? Now, obviously, these are two of the biggest artists in the industry with Drake and with Drake and Kendrick, and they have a lot more power and a lot more money to probably, push for things like this. I don't think the average artist is gonna be doing this. But still, I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
His lawyer said UMG made this song, referring to Not Like Us, more culturally ubiquitous than any other 9 billion streams played at a bar mitzvah. Judge Vargas responds saying an interesting bar mitzvah that would play the song. Judge Vargas then says, then there's the use of the AI voice of Tupac. Drake's lawyer responds saying, I'm not convinced of the relevance. The judge says, wait, shouldn't I view the entire rap battle? Drake's lawyer says, well, this was unique. Judge says Kendrick Lamar did not know he'd perform.
Hey, shout out to Cardenas, aka Taco, for the 5 gifted memberships, gang. Make sure y'all say thank you to the homie Taco for the 5 too, if you get it. Shout out to my dog, man. Thank you so much for helping out, man. I appreciate you, gang. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Perform at the Super Bowl. Drake's lawyer responds saying UMG republished the material with knowledge when it launched the Super Bowl campaign. There were 3 attacks on his home. The cover art is Drake's home with sex offender location tags. The judge then responds with something very interesting. She says, wait, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child? Drake's lawyer responds saying the court does not have enough information on that.
Wait a minute. Kendrick Lamar didn't know he'd perform at the Super Bowl. Drake's lawyer Gottlieb, UMG republished the material with knowledge when it launched the Super Bowl campaign. There were 3 attacks on his home, Drake's lawyer. Gottlieb also says the cover art is Drake's home with sex offender location tags. The judge says, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child? Wait. The court ain't got enough information on that. We don't know what our client did. We only know what you did, sir. We only know what he did, sir. Come on, bro. I mean, I get the tactics. You're not supposed to agree and say, well, yeah. Yeah. You got to argue. I like it, but it's given we're smarter than that.
Drake's lawyer responds saying the court does not have enough information on that. So overall, some very interesting exchanges between the judge and the lawyers on both sides. Right now, there's no telling which way the judge is leaning, but it's definitely good to know that the judge is not only informed, but she has knowledge of what happened during the battle. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. Does anybody seem to have the upper hand so far? Post your comments below.
Yeah, I think it's honestly kind of interesting to see that this judge kind of has an idea of what happened in the battle. Referencing the AI from Pac, and then also referencing Drake's lyrics about him not being the father of his kids. So I think that's actually helpful. That's actually helpful in a sense. So I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think about it, though. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. If y'all, what way do you think this is gonna sway? I based on this very small, like, brief snippet of what I saw and bro's kind of the lawyer that we saw his breakdown of it. I guess I don't see that it'll be dismissed. I think it'd be cool to just get it out the way and end it. And not give any sort of like momentum or power to Drake in this sense, where now if you win and get a settlement because they defamed you, I don't want to see that at all. But let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Honestly, let me know how y'all think this is gonna go. Where do you think it's swaying? I think it's honestly kind of scary that it's this close. Personally, I would think because it's a rap beef that two people knowingly went into, engaged, and both traded hyperbolic, flows at each other or whatever you want to say. They both did it back and forth. It's not like one person did it and you just said all these great things. Y'all both did it. So in my understanding, if it gets close to a settlement, wouldn't there just be a countersuit? So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. I would think that I would be, hey bro, if it's getting close to him winning, we need to countersue for sure. We definitely need to countersue. We must. All right, let's go ahead and tap into the next thing. Do me a favor, gang. Hit that like button if you guys haven't done it already. What we got? We got 100 likes in the stream. I appreciate you. Let's try to get 200 likes in this stream. Let me see. Drake said he heard it might be Dave Freeze Child, but the key work is Mike Hour didn't say he knew it was a fact. Settling is not an option. The judge asking those questions lets me know everything. Yes, it may not get dismissed, but the judge wants to come to a conclusion based on the context of the entire battle. Ooh, that's a good one. But for real, a settlement is basically an L. Yeah, a settlement is an L, I think. Judge needs to play They Not Like Us when he walks in. Crazy work. All right, man, let's go ahead and tap into this JID record, man.